Well, this is what happens when Love's designs a crappy parking lot and forces drivers to blindside back into a space. You have to bring out the old help. I'm here in Hogansville, Georgia, and over here at the Love's. As you can see, they got an Arby's here. We got a Wendy's next door. There's a Waffle House directly in front of the Love's. So apparently there's a thing going around. A lot of people are catching this thing, and it's starting to, you know, we know what that thing is. It's been all over the news, and it's shutting the country down. And a lot of people are asking, you know, what that means for the trucking industry. I'm not an expert. I can tell you right now, I'm no expert. As you hear me sniffle, no, I do not have the gimmick. I don't have the Iggy. Oh God, this guy's going to try to back up right beside me. Watch this. He's going to have to do a 90. Can he do it without hitting me? Here we go. Video proof on YouTube. If this guy clocks my truck. He's got it. He's got it. You got it, flatbedder. See, flatbeds don't have adjustable tandems. They have spread axles, as you can see there. So they are able to maneuver a lot better. Look at him get in that space. Look at that. Good job, man. That's a good backing right there. He's not even going to have to pull up. He's going to wedge himself right in there. Hello, Swifty. Yes, Swift is still around. They got bought by Knight Transportation. And for those of you who goes, no, Swift bought Knight, that's not the case. That is not my truck in front of you. That's another Creek Carrier truck. That is actually the company that I drive for. But anyway, they're spreading the beers, the Corona beers around. Everybody's getting the Corona beer. And it's a bad batch of the beer. Not to say that Corona put a different thing in there in the beer, but the Corona, this case of the Corona beer has upset a lot of people. But again, I'm no expert. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm not like all these guys on Twitter, these old men on Twitter. You know, one of them is from Canada, and is going around telling people that they should, you know, nose into spots and stuff like this and everything. But anyway, I got to tell you guys, I'm worried. I'm real worried about how the trucking industry is going to handle this. I'm real worried about how do you say this? I'm worried that the country's going to shut down. But I have a feeling that truck drivers are going to be the last ones to go. Truck drivers are going to be the last ones to park, and the trucking industry is going to be the last one to say, that's it, we're done. Reason being is this. Yes, we travel all over the country. Yes, we're in and out of convenience stores, truck stops like Love's. It's weird how it looks like the heart is blinking from right here, but it's not. But you know, if you practice proper hand washing, I've been washing my hands every chance I get. I keep these on the truck. Kills 99.99% of germs. It's antibacterial. They're thick. They're large. They're like wash rags almost. So I keep those on the truck. I use them often. I wipe my steering wheel down. I wipe myself down. And I'm taking the proper precautions. And sad to say that not all drivers are going to. Not all drivers are smart enough to do this. Not all drivers are washing their hands when they leave a bathroom, which is scary. If you're a clerk inside of a grocery store or a convenience store, please wear gloves when checking us out. If you're in a restaurant, wear gloves and change them often when you're preparing our food out here. and just take care of us, you know, because we're going to be the last ones out here. I have a big feeling that as the country begins to shut down and more people are not going to work, you know, they've closed Disneyland. In my home state of Virginia, the governor has shut down the schools starting Monday for 2 weeks. You know, obviously pro wrestling, we cover a lot of pro wrestling on this channel. Pro wrestling is pretty much coming to a halt. WWE is so lucky that they have a space that can hold about 200 people that they can hold a live event in front of. And even then, I wouldn't be letting people into that performance center. I'd be holding empty arena stuff. Now, granted, for pro wrestling, that's not really, you know, the most entertaining thing, but the matches will still continue, the storylines will still continue, and you just won't have that fan interaction there in person. But anyway, I think that the truckers, because here's the thing, we transport medical supplies. The National Guard's not going to do it. They don't have the capacity to do it. So we're going to transport the medical supplies. We're going to be transporting the testing kits from place to place. Maybe not from hospital to hospital, but certainly from warehouse to warehouse, where the hospitals can then get a straight truck in there to transport them in. We're going to be supplying the Walmarts, the Targets, the things with you know, there's the toilet paper and all this mess. Where do you think that comes from? I carried a load of toilet paper this morning from South Carolina to Alabama. So, and you know, I think that we're the last ones that are going to be shut down. My company, Creek Carrier, is telling drivers that if you have 100-degree fever, to stay in your truck until you can go 2 days without it. I gotta tell you right now, I'm not self-quarantining myself in a truck. If I got a fever or whatever, I'm going home. I'm going to subdue that fever until I can make it home. I'm lucky that I only operate 11 states in the southeast region, so it's a little bit easier for me to get home than somebody who's in California who lives in Virginia and vice versa. But yeah, we're going to be the last industry to probably shut down. Because right after the company sends that, a day after the company sends that message, they then send another message that says, guys, just use common sense out there, you know. If you have a sniffle, you probably don't have the flu or the Corona beer. You know, check yourself, make sure you're not running a fever, and you know, just self-quarantine yourself. So yeah, it's just a common sense thing. I think people are blowing it a little bit out of proportion, and the media doesn't help things. When you look on the news, it's very fearful. It's creating a lot of fear. It's creating a lot of anxiety. It's creating a lot of angst, and it's creating a lot of bullshit. You know, it's causing people to really panic unnecessarily. But yeah, I'm still out here. I'm still truck driving. Receivers and shippers, I've noticed, have set up hand sanitizer stations. They're telling people to please sanitize your hands when you come into their offices, when you go out of their offices. I delivered a load to Unilever last week. Unilever, the makers of cleaning products. They make Ben & Jerry's ice cream. They make a ton of stuff. They're asking you when you go through their gates, have you been out of the country in the last 30 days? Have you been in contact with anybody who's been out of the country in the last 30 days? Have you had any flu-like symptoms within the last 30 days? I mean, they're really, these shippers and receivers, I got to hand it to themselves, are really kind of stepping up and really are taking, you know, the proper precautions as best they can. All these drivers coming in here. Buddy, it's 5 o'clock and this place is packed. If you're not here to get fuel, you don't need to be roaming here. But anyway, I just thought I'd make this video, folks, to let you guys know I'm okay. I think I will continue to be okay. We spend 90% of our time in the trucks. The only time I really spend out of the truck is when I'm going out to get food or use the bathroom, or going in and out of a shipper or receiver. Remember, if you got a cough or sneeze, don't do it in the direction of anybody. That's how the disease spreads, from dropping. I don't know how basically it's coughing and sneezing and then touching your face. So yeah, this is Joe. Remember, if you see a big rig on the road, give us plenty of room. If you see our signals to get over, back off and let us get over. Yes, you may slow down and get stuck behind a big rig for a couple miles, but help us out. It'll really help us out, because remember, if you bought it, a truck brought it. If you can't see our mirrors, we can't see you. Do not tailgate. Give us lots of room out there, and we'll see you down the road.